Oh my god. Make a clip of that?
No shit.
Right there, smoothly in down the back straightaway. 3 car lengths separating. Big send on the inside. Kyle Terzak up the racetrack. Contact between the two, and it's going to be Braxton DeWeese winning here at Nashville. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. We are live here from the Indianapolis Raceway Park, ready to bring you guys race number 3 of the 2024 Street Stock Showdown Season 2. So far this season, we have had 2 drivers go to victory lane, starting with our first race at the Kern County Raceway Park, where Easton Swain picked up the victory. And then last week it was Brandon Elvis, or sorry, a couple weeks ago rather, after our break, Brandon Elvis went to victory lane at New Smyrna. These drivers are getting their qualifying efforts underway right now. We'll try and get timing and scoring up for you guys so you guys can see. We've had 6 drivers that have taken time so far. As it looks like Chris Smith on the track now into the number 80 machine. Still trying to get timing and scoring up. For some reason it's not cooperating right now, but it will be up by the time we get the race started. Right now Brady Cox sitting at the top of the board. Still a few drivers left to go. Smith on lap number 2 comes across the stripe. He is currently second quick, and as I say that, he takes the top spot. So we're still trying to get timing and scoring updated. Not sure what the issue is. But sometimes it decides it does not want to work the right way. So we'll get that figured out for you guys so you guys can see everything that's going on. Chris Smith still sitting at the top of the board. Carter Russo in the 21 machine, completing his qualifying run. He's 5th quick right now. Brandon Elvis on lap number 2, 7th quick for the 54. And that'll wrap up his qualifying. 1 driver left to go. We have 11 total street stocks here tonight. Quite a bit fewer cars here tonight at the Indianapolis Raceway Park compared to what we've seen so far this season. And we are ready for the warm-up. And while these drivers get their warm-up session underway, we're going to take a quick step away. I know it's early on in the stream, but we're going to take a quick step away to try and get some of the timing and scoring issues figured out behind the scenes to see if we can't get that all sorted out. But we'll be right back when we come back Green Flag Racing in just a little bit. Be right back here on the WD Broadcasting Network. I'm your host, Winston Deal. Alrighty, folks, we're going to try this again to see if we can't figure it out and get timing and scoring up for you guys. There it is. There we go. All ready to go here. We'll get our qualifying results up on screen as well as talk to our fast qualifier, Christopher Smith. See if we can't get him up into the broadcast booth. Fast qualifier Chris Smith up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Alrighty, well, went to the top of the board here tonight in qualifying. The invert's going to be a 6, so that will put you in the 6th spot to start this one. How do we feel about our chances here in 40 laps at the Indianapolis Raceway Park?
Yeah, man. Just try to stay out of trouble. Be there at the end. See if I can save some tire there at the last couple laps.
Alrighty, well, good run for you there in qualifying. A good start to your night. You're currently 5th place in the point standings. You've got 3 drivers ahead of you that are in this session here tonight. What can you do to try and edge out those guys and get the maximum points that you can with that fast qualifying bonus?
Just try to keep the car clean. It's a pretty rough track if you overdrive it, so just try to hit my marks.
Alrighty, Chris, well, you're about to get this race underway. You're on the grid now, so we'll let you get all dialed in and ready to go, but good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Alrighty, folks, that was your fast qualifier here tonight. Chris Smith in the 80 machine. The invert, as I mentioned, was a 6, so Zach Murphy will be on pole here tonight in the 29 machine. And then it will be Carter Russo in the 21 to his outside. Brandon Groover in the 41 going to start 3rd. James Pileski in the 93 machine will roll off from the 4th spot. Brady Cox in the 76 will start in the 5th position. Then Chris Smith, your fast qualifier, in 6th. Brandon Elvis, your fast qualifier, or sorry, your points leader coming into this evening, starting in the 7th spot. Then Lewis Flowers in the 62 will start 8th. Wade Enyart in the 210 will roll off from the 9th position. Grayson Spillers will roll off 10th, and Jeremiah Woods Jr. going to round out our 11-car field here tonight at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Last night in the late model stocks, we saw a lot of good racing between this 29 machine right here that we see on screen, your pole sitter, and Mark Keteman. Those two battled all night long for that 2nd spot. We're side by side for many laps. And so far this week, Zach Murphy has a 3rd place finish. And then last night, it was a 2nd place finish. We talked to him last night and kind of made the joke that the odds were in his favor to improve 1 spot, and he's already looking pretty good here tonight, rolling off from the pole. So keep your eye on that 29 machine. He last went to victory lane here and leave the pack in week 4 of the original season 1 of the Street Stock Showdown. We'll see what he can do. The pace car is off. We are through turns 3 and 4. We're going to wait for the drop of the green flag as the field makes their way into the restart zone. The green is up, the green is out. We are underway. Green flag here at Indianapolis. Murphy going to peek out to the early advantage. Russo, though, going to try and come back on the outside. Oh, Russo big time sideways there in the 21. Here comes James Pileski. They're 3 wide already, lap number 1. Pileski in the middle, Groover down low. Russo up to the top side. There's contact there. The 93 into the left side door of the 21, but out front after lap number 1, it's going to be Zach Murphy. Murphy in the 29, going to lead the first lap here of 40. The battle is for the 2nd spot, though. Russo in the 21, very loose there on the top side, trying to keep that car pointed in the right direction. Here comes Chris Smith, your fast qualifier, taking a peek to the middle. He'll go to the bottom side of Carter Russo. Brandon Groover down low, making that apron lane work. Pileski a little bit loose in the 93. That's going to open up the door for Smith. Move Pileski to 2nd. Here comes Chris Smith, still trying to make it through that center spot. Brandon Elvis and Brady Cox wait in the wings. Groover a little bit loose off the corner. That's going to give those guys up front some breathing room. Here comes Brandon Elvis trying to stick his nose in there 3 wide. We're 3 wide for the 5th spot. Out front, Zach Murphy going to lead another lap there. Lap 4 in the books. Brandon Groover in the 41 machine back to the 7th spot. As Carter Russo and Chris Smith, your fast qualifier, continue the battle down the back straightaway. Brady Cox in the 54 of Brandon Elvis side by side there. Looks like Cox Going to fall back in line, get behind that 54 machine and try to move forward. But the battle's still on for the second position. Smith down low, Russo up top. The outside lane tends to be advantageous here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. The street stocks a little bit less power, so you're able to make that inside lane work just a little bit better. You've definitely seen cars a lot further up the racetrack here this week so far, as Russo up at the outside wall. That's going to allow Smith to peek ahead just a little bit into turns 1 and 2. He'll try and slide up the racetrack. Russo up the track. Give Chris Smith the 3rd spot. Russo back to the 5th position. He'll tuck in line behind Brandon Elvis. He's got Brady Cox to his inside now. The battle for the 5th position. Cox down low, trying to make that spot work. Very tough to pass here. We've seen it all week long at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, and Russo very loose there. Not what you want to do early on here. We're only 7 laps into this one. You've got to keep the tires underneath. These guys do not get a set of tires down in the pits, so the tires that are on the race car right now is what they will finish on. Meanwhile, up front, battle for second. Chris Smith down to the bottom. Smith underneath James Pileski, trying to take over the 2nd spot. Chris Smith has one of, if not the most, starts in Leave the Pack iRacing competition. Has not gone to victory lane so far in his Leave the Pack career. He's trying to do that here tonight, and he's moving underneath James Pileski. He's got a nose advantage there into turns 1 and 2. Pileski going to try to roll that outside lane. It looks like Smith will have the run up off the corner, move Chris Smith back up to the 2nd spot. Brandon Elvis underneath the 93 for 3rd. The bottom lane starting to roll here early on. Ooh, contact there for 3rd. Elvis tried to close the gap there, but Pileski was still out there just a little bit. Here comes Brady Cox underneath the 93 machine, trying to move his way forward. Cox started this race in the 5th spot. He stays there now, trying to take over the 4th position from James Pileski. As we roll through turns 3 and 4, we are 10 laps in here. 10 laps in at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Pileski back to the bottom, trying to put the crossover move on Brady Cox. He'll try and drive that car up off the corner. Not going to have it the run, though. He'll tuck in behind and keep that 5th position. Up and down the corner, Zach Murphy completing another lap there, leading out front by about 0.6 of a second across the stripe that time. Last lap around, Chris Smith was the fastest car on the racetrack, the only car in the 23-second bracket. He's trying to move forward in a hurry. He knows that there's not that much time to pass here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Grayson Spillers in the 38 machine right there, down on the bottom side of the racetrack, giving these guys plenty of room up top. As we look down the back straightaway, Chris Smith starting to get a little bit of separation from Brandon Elvis in the 3rd spot. This thing's starting to settle down here, and as I say that, Brandon Gruber in the 41 took a peek to the outside of Carter Russo, trying to move his way back forward. He started this race in the 3rd spot, back to 7th right now. Up front, Brandon Elvis, Brady Cox, they run 3rd and 4th right now. Last time by, Cox in the 76 had a little bit quicker of a lap time, but very close between the two. As your front 4 start to bunch up a little bit here on lap 15. $15 laps in across the stripe, 25 to go. For race leader Zach Murphy, a short one here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. We've been green from the drop of the green flag. As Christopher Smith starting to close up that gap here. It's going to be a little bit tougher to pass here now that these guys have got some heat in the tires. We'll see what Zach Murphy is able to do in the 29. Ooh, a little bit loose there through the center. Here comes Chris Smith down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Smith to the bottom. Into turns 3 and 4. They battle side by side through the center of the corner. Murphy going to try to hold that outside lane and make Smith go down the hard way on the bottom. It looks like Murphy is able to prevail for now. 23 to go across the stripe. Murphy again loose through turns 1 and 2. That's going to open up the door once again for Smith. Down the back straightaway. Smith to the inside. Murphy up top. Brandon Elvis waiting in the wings. Both of those guys a little bit sideways out of turns 3 and 4 right there. Sliding those rear tires. Smith pulls ahead a little bit there through turns 1 and 2. Murphy going to try to hold that outside lane and keep the momentum built up. He's got about a nose entering turns 3 and 4. Smith trying to just stay patient on the bottom side of the racetrack. Don't want to give up don't want to push too hard too early. And as I say that, Murphy able to peek back ahead. 21 to go at the line. .21 laps to go. Ooh, Zach Murphy up into the outside wall a little bit there. A push from Brandon Elvis into turns 3 and 4. Elvis waiting in the wings. He was your most recent winner in the Street Stock Showdown and your points leader. Trying to repeat what he did at New Smyrna just a couple weeks ago. And now your front 4 cars side by side under a blanket here for that top spot. 20 laps to go at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Oh, and the caution flag is out. Grayson Spillers in the 38 machine, I believe, may have won around. Not sure what the issue was there. But the caution flag comes out. We'll try and see. And it looks like, yeah, Grayson Spillers around there on the front stretch. We'll see what happened to the 38 machine. Looks like out of turns 3 and 4, just a little bit sideways there. And drives that car down into the inside. Luckily, nobody else involved. But the 38 machine down on pit road, going to lose a couple laps there. Currently scored in the 11th spot. He was a lap down at the time of caution. But the caution flag flies for the first time here tonight. We were just past the halfway point when that caution flag came out. And the field is behind the safety of the iRacing.com pace car for the first time here tonight. We have about 18 laps to go. We'll come back to 17 and the field will get the 1 to go signal from race control. As the field comes back around right here, 1 to go signal given to these drivers. As the lights drop on the iRacing.com pace car. Looks like Zach Murphy going to elect to take that outside lane, which is what we've seen him do. Smith has been able to get to the bottom side, just has not been able to make that make that lane work just yet. But we'll see what Smith can do. We'll send him back green with 16 laps to go. And it'll be a fun shootout between these two drivers and the two back behind them. Don't forget about James Pileski and Carter Russo as well. As the field works their way into turns 3 and 4, they'll hit the restart zone, and it is in the hands of the 29 of Zach Murphy. The green flag is out. We're back underway. Good start there from both drivers. They're going to be dead even going into turns 1 and 2. Your top 6 under a blanket down the back straightaway they go. Murphy going to peek out by just the nose right there. Give him half a car into turns 3 and 4. He'll try to make that top side work. They come up out of the corner, 15 laps to go across the stripe. A little bit of contact for the 3rd spot. Elvis and Cox battling very hard for that position. Oh, and Brandon Elvis gets sideways. Here comes James Pileski to the bottom side. And oh, Brady Cox gets tagged. There's more contact. Brady Cox in the 76 machine. And the caution flag comes out right there. Jeremiah Woods in the 222 machine also has some pretty heavy front end damage there as well. Back-to-back caution flags. Not sure what happened there. We saw the contact with Brady Cox and Brandon Elvis. As we'll see what happened up in front. You see Elvis a little bit sideways there. The 93 tucks to the inside. And yeah, there was more contact. Not sure what exactly happened. They were all right there in a tight little group. We'll try and go back and look at this from behind the 76 machine. See the 54 sideways right there, held onto that race car, trying to drive it off the corner. It looked like the 54 machine of Elvis just may have made a tiny bit of contact there. And unfortunately, Brady Cox going to have to bring that car down pit road. You see Cox down there on pit road. He'll try not to lose a lap right here. We'll see what the damage looks like on that car. As the field is making their way through turns 3 and 4, we'll see if Cox is able to get out of the pits, and it looks like he will be. So the caution flag out for the second time here tonight. They'll come back to 11 laps to go here, and they will get the 1 to go signal. We'll see if Brady Cox is able to recover in that 76 machine as the field gets the 1 to go. Zach Murphy will likely elect that outside lane. It looks like he does. Murphy up top. Chris Smith going to be down low. James Pileski in that 93 machine. He looked pretty speedy there on that restart. Took a peek to the inside of Brandon Elvis in the 54. We'll see if he's got anything left. We'll send him back green for a 10-lap shootout here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. As they work their way through turns 3 and 4, Smith in the 80 machine going to try to get a really good start right here. As they roll up into the restart zone, the green is up, the green is out, we're back underway. Better start that time for Zach Murphy. He's going to have an advantage going into turns 1 and 2. But here comes Chris Smith. He drives down to the bottom side. He'll peek ahead through the center of the corner. Down the backstretch they go. Here comes James Pileski in the 93. Nearly clear that 54 machine of Brandon Elvis as they work their way into turns 3 and 4. And the caution flag back out. Did not get a lap in there. Not sure what happened out back. Jeremiah Woods Jr. more contact for that 222 machine. Did not quite see what happened there. They were 3 wide down the back straightaway. Down went the 222. Unfortunately, nowhere for Grayson Spillers in the 38 machine to go. Take another look at what happened there. As you saw the 3 wide action right there down the back straightaway. Looked like just a disagreement on space between Brady Cox and Jeremiah Woods right there. Nowhere for Grayson Spillers to go. He was right there behind. as we have 7 laps to go here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. And the field gets the 1 to go signal. It'll be Zach Murphy and Chris Smith once again. Smith, your fast qualifier, would love to visit victory lane for the first time here and leave the pack competition. Murphy has not been since race number 4 of last season. Who will it be as the pace car makes its way to the bottom side of the racetrack? Smith down low, Murphy up top. They're going to work their way into the restart zone. They're dead even when they get to the zone. They launch, and a good start there from the outside lane once again. Into turns 1 and 2, side by side, dead even down the back straightaway. Elvis in the 54 up the racetrack a little bit there. Ooh, contact off of the wall. James Pileski in the 93. Ooh, more contact. Elvis up the racetrack into the outside wall. James Pileski is going to go through to the 3rd spot. We've got 5 laps to go. Side by side down the back straightaway for that top spot. Murphy up top, Chris Smith down low. James Pileski in the 3rd spot, waiting in the wings. Smith going to pull ahead right there across the stripe. Very close between the two as they enter turns 1 and 2. Zach Murphy in the 29 has led every lap of this race so far. And oh, big sideways moment there. Chris Smith going to sneak into the lead. Chris Smith takes over the top spot with 4 laps to go. Does anybody have anything to say about it? Here comes James Pileski looking for the 2nd spot. We'll have 3 laps to go across the stripe this time. 3 to go for Chris Smith. Zach Murphy going to try and do everything he can here to get that 80 machine back. He's led a majority of the laps so far in this one. But we've got 3 more times around into turns 3 and 4. Only a car length separating your top 3. And as they come out of turns 3 and 4 this time, the popsicle stick's going to be up in the air. 2 laps to go for Chris Smith. Smith trying to pick up his first victory in the Leave the Pack iRacing League. Will it come here tonight at IRP? Down the back straightaway, Murphy trying to close up that gap. Smith a little bit quicker than Murphy that last time by. But through turns 3 and 4, white flag is out. 1 more time around for Chris Smith. Murphy big time sideways there. That's going to lose a lot of ground out of the corner. Final time through turns 1 and 2. Chris Smith has a comfortable lead down the back straightaway. Does Zach Murphy have anything left into turns 3 and 4? And it looks like Smith going to roll through the center of the corner. Murphy a little bit loose back behind. And up and out of the corner, Chris Smith going to pick up his first victory in the Leave the Pack iRacing League in the Street Stock Showdown at IRP. Chris Smith picking up the victory at IRP in the Street Stock Showdown. His first victory in the Leave the Pack iRacing League. Great run for the 80 machine here tonight. And he's going to burn them down, drifting through turns 3 and 4. It's been a long time coming for Smith. He had a lot of good runs last season. Chris Smith with 7 top 5s in the Street Stock Showdown. Up to this point, 10 top 10 finishes. And this time, he's going to check off the box in the win category and pick up his first victory at IRP. We're going to take a quick step away before grabbing a word from our top 3 finishers in just 1 moment. Be right back here on the WD Broadcasting Network.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second spot, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Trish on the bottom. Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Apromitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Alrighty, folks. Back here on the WD Broadcasting Network, we're going to try and grab a quick word from our top 3 finishers, starting with our third place finisher, James Pileski. James Pileski up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, buddy.
Alrighty, well, your third top 5 finish in a row here this week at IRP. What is it about IRP that's that you're having good success at this week?
I don't know. It's just a fun track. There's you can kind of run multiple lines depending on the cars that you're running. Like this streeter, you could kind of run the bottom, you could kind of run the top, not like super top, but it was really eating right rear. So like that first run we had, you see they all pulled away from me. I was just trying to save my right rear. I was doing everything to save my right rear and not lose a whole lot of spots, hoping we would get a caution and I'd have some tire for those guys. And I felt like I was pretty good. That first restart, I think I was pretty good there. If we didn't get that caution or the last caution, that restart did not go well for me. They kind of brake checked a little bit up front and it just kind of threw me off a little bit. But I'm happy with bringing it home P3.
Yeah, P3, definitely nothing to complain about there. We have one more race this week at IRP, and it's the Super Late Model Division coming up in, well, about 15 minutes. What can you do to have more success there?
To be honest with the Supers, I would just like to finish. I don't think I've finished a race yet this season. So, yeah, I just want to finish a race in the Super. It would be great. Anything, as long as I'm not getting wrecked, I'm going to consider that a win.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, James. Before we let you go, who do you have to thank for this third place finish at IRP?
As always, I want to thank you, Winston, for putting this all together and giving us a fun place to race with, a bunch of good guys, man. It's a lot of fun racing these guys. And then K-Cars. Fuck, I'm having a brain fart right here. Oh, Brofab Welding. Can't forget that one. And then Justin Brooks Designs for my awesome paint schemes that he made me.
Yeah, that 93 machine definitely looks very good out there. The gold flake, as you mentioned, looks pretty good on the broadcast. So congratulations to you, James, on your third place run here in the Street Stock Division. We wish you luck in the Supers.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep. Alrighty, that was your third place finisher. Now to grab a word from our second place. Now to grab a word from our second place finisher there. Zach Murphy up in the broadcast booth. Zach Murphy up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Alrighty, well, we were oh so close to getting that victory here tonight. Second place again. The bridesmaid. What can you do in the Supers to get one spot better?
I don't know, man. Hopefully, I guess maybe conserve a little tire, or maybe not get some late restarts. I don't know. That definitely hurt to lose it there, but congratulations to Chris. He's always fun to run with. We had a good battle going, so I'm glad one of us got it at least.
Yeah, it was definitely a good battle between you guys there. Looked like the inside lane for once this week. The inside lane was actually the place to be, but that 29 machine still looked pretty good here tonight. Who do you have to thank for another second place finish?
Yeah, I got to thank Justin over at Coleman Designs. Got to thank Whitney Automotive. Thank the guys in Race Room 3. Thank you, Winston, for the league and the broadcast. And thank my wife and kids for letting me come down here and do this.
Alrighty, Zach. Well, congratulations on another second place finish. Hopefully we can see you once again in the super late model division here later on.
Yeah, hopefully we'll talk to you in a bit.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks. And now to grab a word from the man of the hour, picking up his first victory in Leave the Pack competition. Chris, we talked to you earlier on. Fast qualifier here tonight. The invert was a 6. IRP is notoriously tough to pass. You put a show on, moved to the front, and ultimately took the victory here. Your first in Leave the Pack competition. How do you feel?
Yeah, man. I just trying to hurry up and pass some cars. It's pretty hard to pass here once tires get wore down. Overall, man, that was a good race. Thanks, Zach, for running me clean. We've ran together a lot, so try to keep it as clean as we can.
Yeah, you guys definitely put on a pretty good show there up at the front of the field. It looked very tough to pass on the bottom side. He was making that outside lane work, but luckily, like you said, the tires wear out pretty quickly here in these cars, and it looked like the 29 might have had a little bit less right rear than you at the end, and ultimately you were able to sneak ahead there with a couple laps to go and pick up your first victory here in Leave the Pack competition. Who do you have to thank for the top spot here tonight?
First off, thanks my wife for letting me do this. Say hey to my dad. I know he's watching. Elvis Coleman Racing, Chastain Law Firm, Coleman Designs for the sweet paint, Coastal Performance Fabrication, Barry Elvis Performance Fabrication, and thank you for broadcasting.
Yes, sir. Always a fun time. Glad you could get a victory here and Leave the Pack. You've been knocking on the door for quite some time. You had a lot of top 5s last season rather, in the Street Stock Showdown. Glad you could finally shake that win category and get it out of the goose egg. But nonetheless, congratulations to you, Chris, and hopefully we can see you later on in the Supers.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks. Well, super late models are up right now. I've got to hop on over there and make sure we've got a broadcast for that race. But nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning in to tonight's Street Stock Showdown race. The link is already posted for the super late model race, so hop over there. The stream should be live around 8:25, 8:30-ish, but 9:25. I'm about an hour behind. But either way, thank you guys for watching. I'm your host, Winston Deal from the WD Broadcasting Network. We're going to sign it off and head over to the super late model division, and we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.